to Biomutant. At least being underground keeps you out of the weather. Out of Date says the time has come for you to reconcile with your past. Lupa-Lupin is still staying in the camp where he was brought up. He hopes you'll find the answers you are looking for there. It's in your nature to hope for the best but prepare for the worst, but it's likely a meeting with the Lupin will end in confrontation. He'll point you in the right direction, but the rest is up to you. This part of the journey is one you'll have to do on your own. Lupa-Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Out of Date hopes you'll find your way and the answers you were looking for once you're there. He knows he said it before, but the time has come to put an end to the Lupin's reign of terror. You should get over there. Come face to face with destiny. It's going to be you against the Lupin. No rules. He's happy to help. Good thing you're not claustrophobic. Lupa-Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Ride like the wind. Tread carefully here. This is Lupa-Lupin's camp. Lupa-Lupin says he's been looking forward to this moment. He wanted you to come here and see for yourself where it all started. He was so little when your mother and kin came here to put an end to his mother just because she was different, a hunter. That night, the hunter became the hunted, trapped with nowhere to run. He says your mother showed no mercy. Only vengeance. He can see that you're like your mother. You would have made the same decision and taken the same action she did. You're a killer too. They orphaned him, left him alone, an outcast and a freak. Lupa-Lupin says he's been reliving the moment every night since then. He says your mother and her disciples started something that couldn't be undone. They created the monster he would become. He knew his time would come and he was patient. So, when he got news about your birth, he knew how to get revenge that would last. That's why he spared you that night he raised the village when you were a child. He wanted you to suffer for life, like he had. He marked you for life, so he'd recognize you when you met again, and you'd eventually remember where you came from. His hunger grew insatiable over the years to come. He tried, but being vegetarian wasn't in his nature and he couldn't go hungry. But he's never taken a life for the sake of appetite. It's always been about survival, and that our true self is being who we are. A deep look into nature will make you understand everything better, and that natural selection eliminates, and the strongest survive. Fate is for those too weak to determine their own destiny, and now the time has come for you to accept yours. He says you're... Could be easy to get lost down here. Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Noko in the east. Out of Date says he knows you're good-hearted enough to do your best to support Noko. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Noko and making sure she gets what she needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date was spot on. The hoof puff needs to be stopped. Out of Date says that Noko is worried now that the Eastern World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Noko keeps a fabled steed that she has planned to ride out to the World Eater, but needs help to get it prepared. Out of Date. He's happy to help. Says you're welcome back. Check out that plastic scrap over there. That's the good stuff. Hack and slash. Hey, nice shot. Shield your eyes if the daylight hurts you. This area is biocontaminated. It's really hazardous. Find us a sunset to ride into. Growl it into a higher gear. A crossway. This means you have a choice to make. Which way? That looks like the control box handles need to be wheeled to buzz the wire. Wired up and ready to go. You look civilized. Wild headgear. Good for protecting your privates. This won't be a field trip. It's the real thing. Wow, you lucked out there. Want to get your arms? Got to time it right to make them work. Left, right, left, right. Pumping good. Looking better. Might keep you dry, at least. History is nothing but a series of stories. That's not too bad. Biohazard makes your skin crawl. Locked up tight? Listen to all that night noise. Need the right key. That's shut and good. This region is known as the Knupstonies. You can't find a harder place in the world. Cracker Doom. Nice shot. Right between the eyes. Should have backed off. Love to hear a mount's footbeat. Hey, there's some e-waste. Ah, the Gnote pen. Noko never leaves this place. She's always put the living things first. Nook. She wonders if you remember her. She's Noko. She let you ride her Majut when you were a kid. Noko remembers you used to chase around with so much energy and is glad to see you haven't lost any of that spark. But that's all long gone now, though. Memories show us where we've been, not where we're going. Believes everyone needs direction in this broken world. Your only hope is that you'll end up in a good place once all this is over. Noko remembers those days too, but she never lets herself wallow in them, no matter how tempting that can be. She sees you're back to buck with Lupa-Lupin. Can't see how there's any way to avoid that now. Not for long, at least. She says the horrors of your younger days were enough to ruin anyone, but not you. You've got all that cheer about you still.
Andro do male tuk. Asana yotpa.
Noko says history is like the
Sana yote. Asana yotpa.
She wants Lupa-Lupin to pay too, even though she strongly believes forgiveness is the strongest revenge.
Nothing shines like the dark. Oh, no, wait. Oh, well, you know.
Just when you think there's no hope, hope comes along,
Blinded by the light.
shining like a brand new day.
Next time, go with your gut. Your dark, dark gut.
Kanauruta puri kumbalamuma.
Asks how many paths you've wandered in the world, and if you ever wonder about what might...
Anora kapapom. Andro, nyada aldo.
The choices can be overwhelming, but you have to choose, or you just stay where you are. And what kind of choice is that?
Kala monibasa.
Hates to think of what's going to happen to all the Gnotes when the world dies. Nothing left to care for.
Pendrine senema.
Hates that you didn't care enough about the world to fight for it.
Ariaroche nui mumera. Monibasa.
Can't believe you joined up with the Jagni. They're constantly pecking around.
Kudutuku.
If by loose you mean not nailed down, they keep trying to rustle her Gnotes.
Pialtuma.
But let's not speak of that now.
Kanamunta. Asana yotpa. Ariaroche nui mumera.
She has an idea where the Majut might have gone, as there's no other place it likes as much as its own corner of the open wild. She's even named it the Majut Meadow.
Inadabsunka. Amun. Kanamunta.
The Majut will recognize the scent you've attracted while being here, so it'll probably trust you enough to follow you.
Polakudo.
You should lead the Majut back here when you find it. It's...
Kuri kumbalamuma. Ritsentede. Dropalo.
She's sad that something as wild as the hoof puff can't be tamed, but has to come to terms with the fact that you need to stop it. At least you can feed this ride grass.